Looking after 13-year-old Neziah Harris, did no one in her world catch on to her spending so much time with a 42-year-old man named Jarvis Butts. Prosecutors say Butts had the ability to get involved with multiple women, only to get close to their children. He's already charged with the sex abuse of 2 children. One was 4 years of age at the time, the other his own minor daughter. Butts was also involved with Neziah Harris, that he called her his niece. Cell phone messages uncovered by Detroit police show that Butts was sexually abusing the girl, got her pregnant, and even searched for ways to abort a pregnancy, including have someone drink antifreeze. Neziah Harris went missing last January 9th. Butts was last seen with her that night. Again, it's cell phone data, putting Butts' cell phone at the River Rouge, where parts of Neziah Harris's clothing were found. Her body has never been found, but prosecutors say Butts killed her allegedly to cover up the pregnancy, to cover up his own horrific abuse of her. Hours of police interrogation of Butts, he admits nothing, but had an answer for every questionable text saying they were likely meant for other women he was involved with.
Ladies and gentlemen, if it's not clear, this story is going to, or this episode is going to be on a young lady named Neziah, a little girl. Okay. Neziah was 13, I believe, when she went missing last year, 2024, January. And it's become quite clear what has happened to her. Very, very sad. This is a pretty viral video. A pretty viral case right now, and just seeing it and hearing about it really broke my heart. It really tore me up because it has to do with men. In this case, happens to be Jarvis Butts, right? But different men like this are out there, and it needs to be spoken about. It really does, because people like him get in situations where they find women to be with to end up being a predator to somebody that they know, right? This is his girlfriend. This was Jarvis Butts' girlfriend, who is Neziah's auntie. So Jarvis Butts got with her to get with this little girl. You understand what I'm saying to you? He got with her. And this isn't the first time that this man has done this. He has a pattern, right? But this is the first time he got caught. Why is that? Because Neziah ended up getting pregnant. Boy, oh boy. Oh-wee. Oh-wee. If you have kids as a single woman, please ask yourself why each man is in your face. A lot of these predators want your kids instead of you. Yep, I said it. They want your children. There are too many situations where teenage girls are being violated and even killed by the live-in boyfriend and is getting swept under the rug. Her desperation for a man put her niece in danger. It's all not men, but it's too many of them out here harming children. R.I.P. Neziah Harris. Sick situation, ladies and gentlemen. I want to play one more clip of the text, just so you guys get a better understanding on how sick this individual is. There's a video out there of him in court and a lady reading text messages, and then it shows the auntie talking. It's pretty intense. So, warning to people out there, if your stomach can't stand stuff like this, turn the video off, because she talks about the text messages sent back and forth, and it's pretty explicit. It's a grown man. Remember, Jarvis is 42. Okay? 42-year-old man. I believe was 41 at the time. Neziah was 13. This is what you need to keep in mind. This little girl was 13 years old with this grown man. And this was years ago when it first started. So she was like 11. You understand it? You understand what I'm saying? This little girl didn't have love. She just wanted love from a father figure who he was supposed to be. Called her his niece. He was supposed to be the uncle because his girlfriend was the auntie. Got in this little girl's life, groomed her. Sad thing is, this is not the first time. This is happening all over the world. But we want to play this to bring awareness for people out there who may be in the same situation and not even know it. not even know it. Check this out.
27/2022, 1:54 a.m. She has sent a message. Where are we doing it? At your choice. A message is replied to Jarvis. It says basement. The message is sent to Neziah from Mr. Butt's phone saying, can you suck my dick, please? And make sure you erase the messages. Go change your clothes and take your panties off. Are we doing it tonight? I'm ready, fresh out the shower. You coming over? Don't have school. Asking, you coming? She receives a message from Jarvis that says, stop messing with people and just be mine. I'm finna go to lunch, love you. I can't stop thinking about you either. She sends a message to Jarvis. Hey, you may think I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. My phone broke. Are you mad at me? Please don't be mad. Can you tell me why you mad at me, yes or no? He replies to her saying, I haven't seen or talked to you. He had sent to her, I'm at your house. She says, damn, we was just there. You bet not be in my room. He sends her a message that says, I stole your panties. Didn't I make you come faster than ever? Jarvis, I'm sorry for making you mad, but do you ever think how I feel knowing that I can't have you to myself? But you have me to yourself, and no, I'm not seeing anybody else, I swear. Then you going to hit it from the back again? Send me some pictures, please. I want some pussy. And the name on here that she has this number saved is Bae for life. B-A-E, the number 4, and then life. Are you naked yet? Come on, Bae, I'm sorry. Just not in the mood right now. I'm sorry. I didn't sneak out for nobody, I swear. I know you're having a rough day, but I swear I'm not lying. Why won't you believe anything I tell you? I'm not like other girls. There is no need for me to lie to you. The meaning is you're mine and mine only, and all you're mine and will stay mine. Go take them panties off. He sends a message to her that says, I'm trying to, can I get my dick sucked today? I just want your body on mine. We doing something or what? At 01:23, she replies, I want to lay with you. He replies, I'm going upstairs. She sends, okay, Shan going up there too. Give her some so she can shut up and leave you alone. She only acting like that because she's horny. Come downstairs so I can sit on it real quick. You was right, it hit different outside. Do you like your girls skinny? That's messed up because I was gonna f the shit out of you. I still want you to do it. August 4, 2023 at 22:07 hours, Neziah sends to Jarvis. Shan and Nana left. Jarvis replies, okay, what you saying? Neziah then replies back, what you think I'm trying to say? I want to try something. A threesome. You down for it? Thinking about you. My period haven't came at all. Hello, you there? It have not came. Jarvis replies to her, since when? Since I was in the hospital. That was last month. I'm scared. I don't know IDK. What to do? I have to go to the doctor's TM for tomorrow. You said that you took a pregnancy test and it was negative. She replies, it did. Jarvis then replies, so go get another one. I can't. I have no money. 14:43, she says, you ain't scared to get a plan B. Get a pregnancy test and bring it later today. Just act like you have to use the bathroom. 14:56, Jarvis replies to her with, okay. September 27th, starting at 21:26 hours, Neziah sends, but are we still on for Friday? Jarvis replies, yes. What we doing though? At 21:49, she sends back, Jarvis replies, seriously? Neziah replies, yeah, what else we gonna do? Jarvis replies back to her, where? It now jumps to October 21st at 19:05 hours, Neziah sends, hey babe, I need that plan B today. Jarvis sends her the letter Y.
And now jumping to November 27th.
Neziah sends, I just want to talk. I really don't want to lose you. I don't what's your problem, but I need you to bring me what I need tonight. It's hard doing all this gym shit with this baby. And if I don't do them, I'm going to get a F. January 9th, 2024 at 14:21, Neziah sent to Jarvis, don't forget to be there before 3. I will let you know when I'm leaving the school. If you're not there, I will wait. Send okay if you've seen the message so I can delete your number. Jarvis replies, okay, and those messages were deleted.
There was no further communication between Neziah's text number and Jarvis's number after January 9th, 2024, 1 year ago today.
Yes.
Can I describe the relationship between Neziah and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
And to fast forward, on January 21st, 2024,
Officer Gardner came to pick up Neziah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. The tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butt's Instagram page. I clicked on his page and I seen 2 messages.
Were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay.
It was 2 sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. It wasn't nothing there, but you know, the picture was sent. Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? So there's 2 particular messages that states out and there's a picture. And he stated that, I don't know, on these messages, I told him what the messages were, and he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
On Isaiah Harris and the community who failed her. From what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given adequate attention and love. I don't know where her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. To Cordell, aka King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including Isaiah, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up his shop. There's no mention of CPS, but I wonder what their involvement was over the years, because this was not just a 1-year thing. There are text messages at least from 2022. To her adoptive grandmother, Annette Harris, whose testimony, in my opinion, was very questionable. I understand why the people put her on the stand to establish Naziah's residence and the houses on Bedford and the regular routine, to establish also that Naziah was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. But to always send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions. And how were there 2 women in that house who have birthed children themselves who did not notice that Naziah was pregnant, and I believe she was, and not having her period anymore? And what stood out the most was when Annette Harris stood on the stand, and she learned around 6 p.m. that Naziah did not come home from school, and said she looked around for her and decided to wait until the next morning to call the police. Without a tear, without emotion, or any expression of being devastated. And to her Aunt Shannon, who also showed no emotion, expression of being devastated from Naziah going missing. She stated that she had friends help look for Naziah, but was directed to just wait until the morning to call the police. A grown woman who likely suspected something strange going on didn't feel the need to call the police. They were both able to go to sleep at night without hearing from Naziah or having any indication that she was coming home that night. As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count 1 as it's been stated that there is no contention with counts 2 and 3. In count 3, I will amend based off of the motion and testimony I heard that Naziah was 12 and not 13 at the time that Jarvis Butts had sexual intercourse with her. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first-degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam had her body been found, but this is where we are. In the last 365 days, no text messages. We all heard today and yesterday that she was very active and frequently texting. No social media for a year. We heard through testimony that she was also active on social media. No phone calls, which she was also able to do according to testimony. No physical sighting of her by anyone. She never came back to school. No one has seen her. Medical records dated from July 2014 to October 2023 indicate that she had no life-threatening medical issues that would lead to a natural cause of death. While this is still probable cause, the evidence all points to Jarvis Butts. His locations, him being seen with her last, the abortion searches, the abrupt silence between the 2 of them in text messages, and the constant lies he told throughout the entire investigation. We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on Naziah and went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up. As much as I want her to be alive today, there is at least probable cause to show and believe that she's dead and she was murdered by Jarvis Butts. Mr. Butts, stand up. You've been sitting over there for 4 days with your head down, sitting between and behind your attorney with your mask on and taking vigorous notes. I want you to pay attention and listen to everything I have to say. I have been trying to figure out for the last 5 days, you. At one point, I thought you were cognitively impaired in the beginning of this exam. And then maybe you had the brain of a 10-year-old, and that's why you were doing such things. But as I heard more and more testimony, you're just a true definition of a pedophile. Watching you laugh and brag about all the women you have with different women and the children and the girlfriends, and making babies to groom them, and having them in your presence, cleaning up your shop, and the little girls around you, has landed you here today. You groomed Azaya. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age. The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear. And to think that she had you saved in her phone and begged for life. Azaya deserves so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture. She did deserve love from her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that. She wanted someone to love her, and she will never know what that feels like. Your children deserve more. As much as the defense counsel has raised issues on count one, all that has done is raise the question of fact for the trier of fact, which means that this will be for a jury or a judge to hear at Third Circuit. I pray for the healing of all the victims and young girls and possibly boys who have come into contact with you. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children and especially our black girls. I pray for closure and healing for all those who have been traumatized by you. And for you, Jarvis Butts, I wish you a speedy trial and that justice be delivered. Your bind over date is January 16th at 9 o'clock a.m. Anything else for the record?
Guys, so this man got this little girl pregnant, then tried to take her somewhere where he could get rid of the baby because of shame, because of guilt. It didn't go accordingly. He ended up taking her life. That's what happened. She's not the first victim. It talks about how he gave a 4-year-old chlamydia. A 4-year-old, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just look at some of the key notes. Key takeaways from preliminary hearing in murder case of Neziah Harris. May also be trial murder case of 13-year-old Neziah Harris, a Detroit girl who went missing in January 2024. A preliminary examination was held on January 6, 2025 to determine if there's enough evidence for Jarvis Butts to stand trial in the suspected murder of Neziah, even though she has never been found. She's never been found, but her clothes and her shoes and everything was by the lake in the forest over there. Exactly where they tracked his phone. It's not really common sense. It's not rocket science. Background. On January 9th, 2024, 13-year-old Neziah Harris got off the school bus in the area of Cornwall Street and 3 Mile, which is near the intersection of Warren Avenue and Otter Drive on Detroit's east side. She was never seen again. Neziah's grandmother says she started getting concerned when she learned she didn't get home that night. So if you know your granddaughter didn't get home at nighttime and she is a 13-year-old child, but she waited until the morning of January 10th to report her missing to authorities, how does it take that long for you to report your 13-year-old is missing? This isn't no teenager. This is somebody who has to come inside when the street lights come on. Poor child was failed. On the same day Neziah went missing, Jarvis Butts was scheduled to turn himself into authorities on a gun charge. However, this was pushed back to February. The court hearing lasted days, and a judge determined there was enough evidence for the Detroit man to stand trial. Why Jarvis Butts was charged. Before getting into details of what happened in the court, here's what we know about why Butts was charged. Prosecutors said Butts was supposed to turn himself into authorities on a gun charge on January 9, 2024, the day Neziah went missing, but the date was pushed back to February. Harris allegedly met up with Butts that day, and the two reportedly went to Ypsilanti before returning back to Detroit, where Butts checked into a hotel. Text records allege that Butts knew Harris was pregnant and that he began searching online about abortion pills, and drinking red antifreeze. Wow, this is crazy. Authorities believe Butts had been sexually abusing Harris since 2022 before killing her in January 2024. Prosecutors said he had history of targeting and befriending women to get close and sexually abuse their daughters. I pray a lot of you guys are seeing this, especially single mothers, even those in families who got friends and stuff. Listen to me. There's no reason, I don't care. There's no reason your friend or whoop-de-whoop should be alone with your little girl. This is the type of stuff that really, really gets your eyes open right here. Right here. Authorities believe Butts have been sexually. It's not the only sexual abuse case Butts is involved with. He also has been charged for reportedly sexually abusing 2 other young girls. And that's only who he got caught with. Understand that. When it comes to serial people like this, what's on record is only what they got caught doing. That means, who knows? As well as a conviction for sexual assault in 2005. Boy been on the loose. 2005, that was recorded. Then Neziah, 2022 to 24. My goodness, boy been on the loose. That's almost 20 years this predator been free. Could you imagine how many more victims it was within that time span? My Lord. Prosecutors called Butts a serial child, R-word, who sexually assaulted an 8-year-old family member, and a girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter, who reportedly caught chlamydia from the assault. How low can you go? 4-year-old. This man was completely possessed. Listen, I want to say something, guys, because I say all the time, different people are victims first, then they become predators, right? They become the monster, right? But they're victims first. The seed was planted. Something probably happened to this man when he was younger. But here's the thing. It's still a choice. That does not make it right. It does not make it right. There's still a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice. He had a choice. He chose evil. He was charged on September 27, 2004 as an habitual 4th-time offender. Butts and Harris had reportedly known each other because he was the father of her cousins. My goodness. The abuse of Harris allegedly began in 2022 with sexually explicit texts and photos being sent to the child. He was tracked to the Rouge River in Detroit the day after her disappearance, where police would later recover the clothes Harris was last seen wearing. I mean, come on. Poor girl, she's gone. Authorities said there was damage to the clothing that could indicate a struggle. Oh, my Lord. Butts was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, child sexually abused material, and second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a person under 13. My Lord. A preliminary examination was held on January 6, 2025 for a judge to decide if there was enough evidence for Butts to head to trial. Within those 4 days of hearing testimonies, loads of evidence were revealed in court that wasn't shown before. Ooh, this is tough, guys. Sergeant Shannon Jones, the officer in charge of the investigation into Nazai's disappearance, read countless text messages exchanged between Butts and Harris from 2022 and the day she disappeared. For context, Harris was 11 to 12 years old in 2022. I mean, if the man's messing with 4-year-olds, I mean, how was he free? If that's recorded way back then, how was he free in 2022? Listen. All individuals who have ruined the minds of a child should be locked away forever. And that should be the minimum charge. When you are adult and you do something to a child, you are destroying them up here. That is a traumatic event that can really destroy somebody's adulthood. It really can. Different things that I've indulged in when I was a child affected me as I grew up tremendously. If you are a grown adult and you know better and you destroy a child's mind and their path, a child who's going like this, growing up, you can easily destroy their path and they, boom, hit a slant. Now they start going that way. Probably happened to him when he was little. He probably was fondled. He probably was a victim. He probably was a good kid growing up and somebody messed with him and it slanted. Boom. Now he on his journey and messing with little children. Absolutely sad. Absolutely sad. Good grief. Evidence found. After Butts learned of Harris' pregnancy, he allegedly searched online abortions from December 8th through December 11th. He allegedly searched for information about abortion pills on Planned Parenthood's website numerous times, as well as searching for over-the-counter abortion medications. He also looked at websites about herbal tea, advertising an abortion method. Look, if he was looking for a pill from December 8th to December 11th, that pill ain't gonna work no more. For one. So clearly, if she disappeared in January, it was at a point where no medications were, like, he had to do something physically to this little girl. Had to. It got to that point. He had to do something physical. Ended up taking her life because of his own guilt, because of his own shame. Now look. In front of the whole world. Evidence found near where Nazaiah disappeared. An inside-out pink jumpsuit, a black jacket, and a red and black shoe were found near the intersection of 7 Mile and Berg by U.S. Border Patrol. Officer who testified he and a team were searching the river near the intersection in relation to Nazaiah's disappearance. He testified the clothing he found had not been there for a long period of time, as there was no discoloration in the clothing and no evidence of animals getting into it. He described the clothing looked fresh. Nazaiah's school ID. A woman said on March 7th, 2024, that she found Nazaiah's school ID on the sidewalk near her home on 7th Mile and Evergreen. She testified during the preliminary hearing on January 7, 2025, that she stepped over the ID for 2.5 weeks from a nearby bus stop before deciding to pick it up. When she picked up the ID that was face down, she recognized the girl's name because she had heard about the disappearance on the news. She took the bus to a local gas station to put the ID on a lid to prevent any more fingerprints and called the police. Good grief. But Butts bound over trial. We may never know what happened, but but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on Isaiah and went south. And instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up. My goodness. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a little girl by herself with a grown man she called uncle that she felt some type of way for because of the brainwash that she got in her head from this grown man? She had him in her contacts under bay for life. And she's with him trying to get rid of this child that he put in her. He tries to do it himself, and it doesn't go accordingly. So he ends up taking her life. Oh. Good grief. Judge calls out family community for failing Naziah. Before the ruling, Sabri said she wanted to speak on behalf of Naziah on the community that failed her. Sabri said based on what she heard in the last few days, several people failed her. She began listing family members and school officials accusing them of failing Naziah. I don't know where her mother is, Sabri continued. I don't know anything other than she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given adequate attention and love. I don't know who her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. Jeez Louise, that's crazy. That means her mother and her dad wasn't at trial. My Lord. Oh my goodness. May Naziah Harrell rest in peace. Amen. Stuff like this really makes you think, right? Because Jarvis Butts was 42. Naziah was 13 years old. That's sick, right? There's many individuals who are doing the same thing. Some people do it legally, guys. Some people do. You go to one of these Islamic countries, yeah, they have young brides. They do it legally. The way you're thinking about this right now, imagine Muhammad, right? Who is Muslims' prophet. He was 50-something years old and married a 6-year-old and consummated the wedding when she was 9. And you have over 1 billion people following him. Can you imagine following Jarvis Butts? Disturbing. Disturbing. There's no reason this man should ever be free again. Ever. Intense. My goodness. Little girl failed. Guys, I wanted to share this to bring awareness to every mother, every father, every auntie, every grandma, grandpa, uncle. Do better by the little ones around you. Even if you don't feel like it, be a good role model. Do better, for the youth is the future. Do not have Jarvis Butts being raised up. Guys, don't have it. I can't help but continue to look at this picture. Like, this is this little girl praying with a group of different little kids praying to God. And she became prey for Jarvis Butts. Look at this child. She's a child, guys. These are kids. Kids are precious, man. They don't know anything. They don't know anything except what they are taught. They don't know anything except their environment. Allow that environment to be filled with God, the presence of God, the Spirit of God, praying. Be aware of who's around your kids. Talk to your children. Have conversations with them. Be there for them. Protect them. So sad. And to think that there's even more out there right now who just aren't caught. That's why I want to bring awareness. Be aware. Be vigilant. Amen. I don't even know who to say to pray that they have peace for. Because everybody failed this young lady. Usually I'll say like pray for the family, pray they have peace. It's like, who did her right? Who was good by her? Sad, man. Truly sad. Truly, truly sad. Sorry this had to happen. Pray for those who are in the same situation as her. And may they be rescued now. Amen. And may they be freed from the trauma through the word of Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. I love you guys. God bless. Shalom.